Grogu, commonly referred to as Baby Yoda, took everyone by surprise when he first appeared in The Mandalorian. The mystery surrounding his purpose and origins has continued to captivate Star Wars fans throughout the show's 2 seasons. The more viewers learn about the character, the more they wonder how he fits into the larger story the show, and Star Wars as a whole, is telling. A long-standing fan theory originating from Reddit suggests that Grogu is part of a centuries-old cycle in which a child grows up to save the Chosen One from falling down a dark path. With this savior cycle theory in mind, it's even possible to put Ahsoka Tano in the role of training Grogu to eventually guide a new Chosen One later on in the Star Wars timeline because of her appearance in the 2nd season of The Mandalorian. This would further suggest that Grogu could have been the one to train Rey in The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker, rescuing her from the temptation of darkness so that she could save the universe. If this idea were true, then where was Grogu during the sequel trilogy? One could argue the sequels were written and finalized before The Mandalorian, and therefore Grogu was possibly only an idea in Jon Favreau's head. It could also mean that at some point between The Mandalorian and The Force Awakens, Grogu dies, and the cycle he may have been destined to continue was shattered. Considering Grogu's connection to Luke Skywalker, and what we know about a certain Jedi Master's path leading up to The Force Awakens, it's possible that at some point before the trilogy begins, Grogu sacrifices himself to save Luke Skywalker, who later goes on to save the entire galaxy from ruin again. This would require Grogu to return to train with Luke Skywalker once again after leaving his training behind during the events of the Book of Boba Fett. While the audiences were ecstatic to see Grogu and Mando reunited, the fact remains that the youngling is ignoring his destiny by abandoning the Jedi and choosing to be with his father. The Mandalorian can effectively embrace the darker side of the Star Wars franchise while setting up a hope to come in future installments. Grogu's sacrifice would not be in vain, but rather work toward the salvation of the galaxy, even if he doesn't get to live to see the results of his actions. As much as this theory intrigues me, I'd much rather Grogu just kinda went somewhere during the events of the sequel trilogy.